Welcome back everyone to the Football Psych YouTube channel, where today we're going to be talking about fans in stadiums, or actually the lack of fans and the impact that has on the pitch, to the players, to the game itself. Really, how important are fans in football and why are we seeing the trends we are at the moment? So the question I'm going to be answering today is the absence of fans affecting the performance on the pitch? Now, I actually did an Instagram poll at the Football Psych Instagram page, so thanks for everyone who took part in that. And that was really just to gauge really what everyone's thinking is, we know that fans are important in football, but how important are they? And what relationship does fans have, or the lack of fans, and performance on the pitch? Now, it was a strange end to last season, and again, that's been picked up with another strange beginning to this season, with most matches in England being played behind closed doors. I'm very lucky. I do work at a football club, so I have been to matches recently where the games are being played behind closed doors, and it is very strange. It's more of a tactical kind of view of the game, because you can hear voices you wouldn't normally hear, with 50,000 people normally cheering over the top, amongst other things, I'm sure. But it is really strange, to watch a game of football without the atmosphere that is normally generated on a match day. And it's very weird. I think we're never going to get used to it as football fans. I know that I don't think I will anyway. I like the additional sound on TV to kind of pretend that there are at least some fans there making a noise. But why would fans not being in stadiums affect performance? At the end of the day, they're still playing football. That's not changed. There's still 22 players on the pitch. There's still 2 managers on the sideline. There's still the same white lines, the same goalposts. So why would fans not being there affect the game itself and players' performances? Well, maybe not directly. They don't instantly get worse at football. Players aren't dropping their performance levels massively in terms of their ability. The ability stays there. But maybe fans add an edge to the games, especially big games, your derbies, your local rivalries, or your Man United, Liverpool's, your big historical games that go back years and have big moments and a lot of memories for a lot of people. But a big portion of that is the fans, the rivalry, the tribal nature of football. Football fans really generate a match day atmosphere. They are the atmosphere. Take them away, you don't really have one. So you take fans away, and suddenly for 90 minutes a player is responsible to stay focused and concentrated for the entirety of the game. Now, you'd think they do that anyway, but with 50,000 people singing and cheering your name and moving with the game in specific moments, that lifts teams in certain periods, and teams rely on that. Where they're up against it or holding on to a lead, fans really can drag teams through to the dying minutes. They talk about the 12th man. It's a very old school saying, but there's a lot of truth in that, really. Fans really do dictate what happens in games, and the ebbs and flows, and pull their teams through when their teams really need them. Especially in England anyway, when there's a big tackle that goes in, the fans rise out of their seats, and it's a sense of occasion, almost celebrated like a goal. And they're the moments in the game that, for the team or individual, that just lifts them for that 5-10 seconds, and that's what they need, maybe, just to kind of get feedback from the crowd. It's almost their way of talking to the audience. They're performing, they're carrying out their skill on the pitch, but they're receiving that feedback from the crowd in their moments. Is there a sense of lack of enjoyment, or at least less enjoyment from the players' side? They love sharing their moments with the fans, the wins, even the losses. But you take that away, and is there a sense of it doesn't mean as much, or they're not up for it as much if they can't share it with 50,000 people? That's what they've become accustomed to, is playing in front of an audience, a crowd, and take that away. That must be very strange to try and come to terms with. And at the end of the day, like I said already, they're still playing football, nothing changes there, but the environment they're playing in has drastically changed. It's almost been flipped, There's silence in the stadium other than the player voices and the tactical interventions from the coaches, whereas normally you've got so much more going on. I guess the other way of looking at it is, do some players enjoy football at the moment? They haven't got 70,000 people, booing them or getting on their back, or when they come off for a sub, they're on them. and they're being negative. So maybe in a weird way, some players are relishing the fact that there's no fans. They might, see it as a little breather, a break from the harsh reality of being a footballer. I don't know, that's a bit of a curveball, but it could be a factor, that football players have come out openly and said they miss fans being in the stadiums. And I think that's true in the most part. But there's got to be a small section of players or at times where they kind of think, I'm glad there's not 70,000 people in this stadium letting me know the mistake I just made. Because they're fully aware of it, but they're going to be reminded 70,000 times by everyone in that stadium. Players often live big moments through fans, so let me try and explain that. So when a goal goes in, them 10, 15 seconds of ecstasy, whereas that barrier that is usually there between an untouchable elite athlete, who earns millions of pounds a year, is suddenly on the same level as John, who's turned up and he's a plumber but he's got a season ticket, and for them 10, 15 seconds they're on the same level. They're almost taken away from that situation and they could be in their own bubble, whereas it takes down all the barriers between them two people where they should never really be in the same place. But in a football game, in that moment, the sheer elation brings them together, and that's gone. When a goal goes in, players are celebrating, but they're not running to the corner flag or giving it a knee slide because there's not them people to share it with. They can't live their moments through the fans, and maybe that's what we're seeing on the pitch. So let's touch on big moments specifically. So let's take a penalty kick. So you step up with VAR at the moment, there could be a minute wait. You step up to that penalty, and while you're getting ready, there's 5,000 people at least behind the goal, willing with everything in their body that you missed that kick. So that's gone in a sense. So that pressure has dramatically changed, Although what's at stake is still the same. If you score, it's a goal, it could help your team win. You haven't got them 5,000 away fans or opposition fans at least willing that you miss. And that must be massive because penalty kicks are stressful anyway, but that pressure element has really changed and really reduced. So I reckon some players are relishing that at the moment and seeing that as one positive of fans not being in stadiums, the fact they can take a penalty not fully in peace, but at least more in peace than they would be normally. As you can see, there's not many people in the stadium, and it's not just because everyone's gone home. This is football at the moment, so it takes some getting used to, but yeah, not very often you're going to get this opportunity. So let me know what you think. Are fans not being in the stadiums affecting what's going on the pitch? Are we seeing a weird and wonderful league unfolding this season because of that? If they are, then to what extent? To what extent are fans not being in stadiums affecting the performances on the pitch physically? Is it a concentration thing? Is it trying to get that motivation from within and taking more responsibility? Is it not feeling what's at stake? What do you think? Let me know. Just wanted to say thank you to Stephen, commenting on my first video. It was one of many comments, to be fair, but he suggested that the next video would be about Man United and the situation. So thank you to him again. If anyone's got any other ideas, video ideas or topics that you want me to cover, put them in the comments and I will make a video on them, as simple as that. That's full time for now, and I'll see you lot in the next one.